You make my day so much brighter. Woo! Smokey!
Bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com for this Hilda hat. We got it in white on black and black on black. Oh, thank you. I just got to cash up. Thank you, my lady. And if you are not already a part of Opera Club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue talking about Smokey Inside My Life by Smokey Robinson with David Ritz. Without warning, he picked up a butcher knife and went after Rose Ella, chasing her around the house, screaming, "This is my mother effing house, and I'm going to live here, and no one's going to stop me." Fortunately, Rose Ella's husband, Chunky, caught fire, disarming the madman before he could do any harm. I was caught in the middle, mourning, mixed up, my heart hurting. With mama gone, I wanted daddy around, yet I hated the feuding and fighting. The plan was for me to go live with Rose Ella and for Jerry's family to stay in mama's house. But Five beat them all to the punch. Day after the funeral, he slipped in, bringing along his girlfriend Mary to help with the cooking. Daddy wouldn't even let my sisters in the house. My sisters fought back. They went to court where the judge not only awarded them the house, but also custody of me. Now Jerry, I called her big sister, was my legal guardian. Daddy didn't contest the order, but man, he got messed up behind it. He was drinking and he was angry. And when big sister finally came to move in, she and her family was living in the projects. I started crying because I didn't want my daddy Five to leave. "Why you turning him out?" I asked. "Turning on Jerry? I'm not. I want him to stay," she said. "The cooks moved out from upstairs. He can stay up there if he wants to. Ain't gonna stay nowhere round here," Daddy declared. "Ain't gonna stay where I ain't wanted." I started crying louder. "For God's sake, Daddy," said big sister, "can't you see Junior wants you here?" "Yeah, I could have told you that months ago. We had to do it legally. We had to take possession of the house, but we all wanted you to stay here. You got possession of the house, but you don't got possession of me. Stay," I begged. "If I stay," he said, "it'll be only because of the boy. And mind you, I'm only staying for a few months." He stayed for 23 years. Oh, their father is a piece of work, right? I don't think Five is a bad person. I just think that he's just stubborn. That's it. Like, he wants to feel like the man of the house. Even though in reality, he loves the children. That's why he left the house to the mother so that she could raise the children and their son. So it's just, I guess he was just in a mood that week or something. Because I'm like, Five is not a bad guy. He took on the girls as his own. That's why the girls called him daddy. It's just, I don't know. He was in a bad mood that week or something. You know how people be. You know, if they moody, they be, you know, with the bus. I'd gone from being mama's only living child to having 6 noisy, nosy siblings running around the house. I loved it. After all, this was my family. I'd been close to these people since Jump Street. My nieces and nephews were now my brothers and sisters. Child, it happened all the time in the black family. I'm telling you, listen, some of you people that have been around a long time, listen. in my family, I swear to you, okay, because all my aunts had all of us, meaning the cousins, at very young ages, okay? Basically, all the cousins was raised by all the aunts, all right? Because my grandmother had all of us staying in one house over there on Varnum Street, uptown, Northwest DC, okay? But honey, I'm telling you, to this day, I don't know for real who's the mammy and who's the auntie. I don't know. You know, it's just, I mean, they put me with that one. Okay, now I know who my father is because I look just like him. But, you know, it's just, I don't know. They put me with that one. But then I got a big cousin who was with my mama too. My nieces and nephews were my sisters and brothers. Sylvia and Sharon were among my favorite people on earth. I liked playing with Brenda, Billy, Jackie, and baby Clifford. Big sister stepped right in and became my mom. She was loving and understanding. At the time she came to Belmont, she was pregnant with Roger. 10 years later, Keith came along. Until I left home, these were the folk who saved me from loneliness and made up for the loss of mommy. Daddy stayed upstairs, and though it might seem strange, his roommate was mama's second husband, Rose Ella's father, Beamy Ligon. The two dudes got along famously because they probably was drunk as shit. And remember that Beamy got a problem with his hands. So when they get mad and drunk, they can beat on each other. How about that? They belong together. Okay, let them ninjas stay upstairs with their dark liquor and their problems. As long as they beating on each other, they won't be beating on no women's. How about that? Make matters cozier, Tyrone, who'd been born just a week before me and was adopted by my aunt and uncle in Chicago, came back to live with us. He became my running buddy. We grew close as twins. Okay, I might be talking a lot. Forgive me, that's because I didn't have a full big cup of coffee, okay? But let me tell you something. I never understood the term walk girls. Okay, my mother used to be like, yeah, that used to be my walk girl. Walk girl. And then now he's saying running buddies. People who are of age, who grew up in this era, can you comment below? Was running buddies something that the men used or the males used, and walk girls was something that the females used? Like, or is it interchangeable? Okay, could a female say, that's my running buddy? But I always used to hear my mama say, oh, that's my walk girl. I'm like, walk girl? What the hell is that? Did you walk around together, mama? I don't get that. Just like running buddies, did y'all run track together? I'm lost. You know, but anyway, I'll move forward. Not that there wasn't some strain. 5, for instance, went off on big sister from time to time. Mostly, I believe, because she looked like mama. And then the money got funny. See, my brother-in-law, Bill, Jerry's husband, worked in a factory where he'd suffered a back injury. He hurt so bad that we'd have to roll him out of bed and straighten him up each morning. But he had all these kids to support, me included. And somehow the cat did it. In spite of the back-breaking pain, he went to work. Things also got tough for Daddy. Automatic pen spotters were on the rise. An era was dying. 5 was no longer boss of the bowling alleys. His little empire was being taken over by machines. Pause. And that's the beginning of the mother-frigging end. He found other gigs, working as a car mechanic and driving tar trucks for the city. He always managed to slip me $5 a week for school money. I needed more. I had records and hit parade magazines to buy. I had girls to date, but I wasn't about to ask brother-in-law Bill for a dime. Bill had enough worries without me on his back. So at age 11, I went to work, delivering packages in my little wagon for Mr. Hackerman's grocery store. Also helped Apparel on a paper route deliver the Detroit Free Press at night. My first real job, though, came when I was 12. Mrs. Wiggins had bought Mr. Henry's store, renaming it Two Sisters Unique. She hired me as an all-around helper, cleaning the counters, floors, and windows 3 days a week. I still loved school, and teachers like Mrs. Harris made me love it even more. She was this wonderful old white woman with silver gray hair who started the Young Writers Club. She encouraged me to create little stories, poems, and sketches, and man, she'd be displaying some of my work nearly every week in the hallway, even my drawings. I had me a Big Ten notebook where I'd also be jotting down songs. Mrs. Harris was one of the first to make me see the value of writing. I was writing and I was also singing. From the start, those two activities were hooked up in my heart. Words rhymed easily in my imagination, and I tried to sing with good articulation. My musical training started in the 5th grade. Sang in the Glee Club, had me a quartet, even wrote our 8th grade graduation play, a musical about the consequences of dropping out of school too soon. Formed another group in junior high. This one was Cecil, Michael Fitzgerald, and Floyd Birch. Saw the power of music when I wrote a campaign song for a girl named Naomi, who was running for class president. Naomi won by a landslide. That night at Cecil's house, we were celebrating the victory when in walked Reverend Franklin with Aretha. They'd just come off a gospel tour. Mind you, Aretha wasn't even a teenager yet. Hey, Ree, where y'all coming from? Chicago, Memphis, and St. Louis. I could see she was a little tired, but she still joined in the merriment. Aretha's shy, but fun-loving, especially when she knows you well. Hey, guess what? She offered. I met Fats Domino. Fats Domino? Wow. What was he doing on a gospel show? He wasn't, but I meet all kinds of people, Smoke. There's a lot of stuff happening out there on the road. Sometimes it's even more than I want to see. You mean like that Sam Cookie? Okay, remember when she was out there on one of them tours? All the ladies loved the Sammy Cookie. And young Riri had gotten missing after all the goings on. Now you got C.L. Franklin running around asking, where's young Riri? I think Riri is like 11 or 12. Okay, C.L. Franklin, lovingly called C.L. Smoothie. You know how we do over here. Runs into the Staple Singers. Staple Singers, have you seen my daughter? No, sir. The Staple Singers know goddamn well that young Riri is in the room with Sammy Cookie. Okay? It's just that ain't none of their business, all right? You got your child out here on the road with the Sammy Cookie. He wasn't, but I meet all kinds of people, Smoke. There's a lot of stuff happening out there on the road. Sometimes it's even more than I want to see. Yeah, like Sammy Cookie's pickle. Mother frick. She turned her eyes from me and gazed out the window, looking like a wise woman in the body of a child. That's because she's probably pregnant with Sammy Cookie's baby. My musical roots ran back to a single source, Sarah Vaughan. Sarah was the foundation. So it was a woman who shaped my style. But I wondered, should a cat like me be singing like a chick? I soon had my answer. The mid-50s came along, and so did the age of rock and roll. First group that slayed me was Billy Ward and the Dominoes. I thought their hit song, Have Mercy Baby, was sung by a woman till I went down to see them at the Broadway Capitol Theater. Y'all, on the Jesus, y'all. On the Jesus. Okay, I swear to you, one of my favorite old school songs is by Cameo. Okay, loved it. My mother loved Cameo. It's strange to me to think that Cameo is the same Cameo that had the black biker suit on and a red cup on his ding ding, you know, and the Philly, you know, word up, it's the code. Anyway, y'all, one of my favorite songs, my family's favorite songs that we used to play down Southwest was Why Have I Lost You? On the Jesus. I never knew that was a man singing. Today I'm just a lonely man. Mama, why's that woman saying she a man? I don't understand. There on stage, Clyde McFadder was singing lead in a voice high enough to be a chick. The chicks, though, not only dug it, they were going absolutely nuts. Hysterical, crying, screaming, throwing themselves at Clyde's feet. Pause. Okay. I don't know if the cameo dude who was singing that part is the reason as to why I died. When a man sings in falsetto or third tenor or whatever it is, in that high voice, it does something to Nolan Strong and the Diablos. Like Clyde, Nolan was a first tenor, driving women wild. How much more motivation did I need? Add Frankie Lyman and Sam Cooke to the stew. Another pair of sweet and spicy, high-voiced influencers. Early on, I saw that my own singing voice, so naturally high, might have some guys calling me girlish. But who cared when the girls ate it up like candy?